guys, I'm Caroline Labor, and today I'm going to talk to you about the missing piece to your success. Now, when it comes to business success, so if you're an entrepreneur, there are many different elements that make up a successful business. So, if you want to be making regular recurring income, you want to be profitable, there are so many different components that you need to be looking at. So, there's your offer. So you've obviously got to have an offer that appeals to people and that solves a problem that people are wanting to solve. You've then got to have the skills to solve that problem. So whether you need to, perhaps go and get some training, you've got to be at the top of your game. Like if you want to deliver value to people, you've got to have the right skills, and you have to keep evolving them as well. And then of course you've got to have a work ethic. So you've got to be prepared to get off your backside and do the work and show up in your business, and show up in the right way as well. Like make sure you're actually delivering value to your clients. And then the other element is your mindset. So really the reality is that mindset is the absolute key, because if your mindset is not in the right place, then it affects every other element. So mindset actually underpins everything else that you do in your business. And so you've really got to work out how to, operate every day with the right mindset, and how to show up with a great attitude and how to show up consistently. And, one example I want to give you of where, you might see that your mindset is kind of flaking away is I see a lot of entrepreneurs getting caught in the cycle of doing course after course. So they'll keep buying loads of online courses in the hope that it kind of solves the next problem. Now, I do want to differentiate between a couple of things. So if you're buying courses because you want to hone in and improve a particular skill, then I'm all for that, because as I said, I believe you do need to keep upskilling. And, you might have reached a level in your business where you decide, hey, you know what, I think YouTube's really going to take me forward. So you go and find a course on YouTube or a mentor who'll, work with you to get your YouTube up. Or, you want to learn how to monetize Instagram, for example. So, for me, yes, they're courses, but they're examples of still refining your skills. And, there's coaching as well. So you might have someone who's helping you one-on-one with a particular element, or even in a group setting, but you want someone to help push you further along. So you're learning from someone who's already walked the path. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, or in fact, doing the courses. The bit that I want to call out is, that you have a mindset problem when you buy the next course, because when you hear the pitch or, you're following the person, you're probably currently already in a course. But this next person starts to say something that sparks hope within you. So for whatever reason, you've gone, sort of really flat about your current course. You've decided it's not going to work for you, even though you may not have admitted that to yourself. You've mentally quit. And so this next person comes along, they're getting awesome results, and they're like, hey, I can help you do this. And they might be brilliant at helping you solve that problem. But if your current course already does that and you've mentally quit, then you've got a mindset problem. So if you're hearing this next pitch video and, this person is sparking this hope within you that, hey, maybe there is a chance for me, then I would challenge you to say that it's not actually the next course that you need to do to fix a skill. It's your mindset that you need to address. Because what ends up happening is it's not even just about the next course that you do, it's about the course after that and the course after that as well. Because what you end up doing in that scenario is actually, I guess I'll call it course stacking. You collect so many courses that you can't even implement them all. And then, not only are you not learning the skills, but you start to really beat yourself up because you know that you've bought all of these courses. And then you might even pencil into your schedule every day that, you've got to do a little bit of each course, or Monday you're doing course 1, Tuesday you're doing course 2, and no one can keep up with that because your focus is so scattered that you just can't implement any of that effectively. And so, if that's happening to you, then I really want to help you start to identify the real problem, which is a mindset problem. And, as I said before, mindset really underpins everything. So you hear a lot of really successful people, so not just personal development gurus, but a lot of people who are, absolutely killing it in the online space at the moment. There seems to be unanimous agreement that, it's 90% mindset or 95% or 99%. Like, it always seems to be a number higher than 90. So all the gurus and the experts in their fields agree that mindset, is the thing that underpins it all. The problem is that not many people really know how to teach you how to get a good mindset. So what often happens to successful people is once they start to see results, they get momentum and they kind of just go flying. And before you know it, they're at 7 figures, some of them get to 8 figures. But because they didn't necessarily sit down and document every step of their journey, and maybe, personal development's not their thing either, they can't actually break it down for you and tell you when and how their mindset changed. And so that's where I think a lot of people get stuck, because you really want to change your mindset. Like, maybe you're reading, a shitload of personal development books, and yet nothing's happening. In fact, the more books you read, the worse you feel, because you want what they're talking about. You're trying to implement things, but nothing really seems to be shifting the needle. And so, I know this firsthand because I have always loved personal development. And from about the age of 20, I just read every personal development book I could get my hands on. And I have, a bookshelf full, overflowing actually, of hundreds of personal development books. And yet I struggled for a really long period in my life. And, I even went on to become a certified coach. So I studied with one of the world's best known gurus. And even though I did that, and I learned some incredibly valuable information that I'm going to be sharing with you in future videos that helped me understand what the problem was, I really struggled to work out how to fix it. And so really, for me, the missing piece that I want to share with you that I think that is the key to success is having a rock solid money mindset. So what I mean by that is actually your self-talk about success. And this comes down to the difference between empowering beliefs versus self-limiting beliefs. And to draw the distinction here, I don't just mean stuff that you believe at a superficial level. So I'm kind of going to go out on a limb here and say that I think most affirmations are superficial. So I'm all for using them, but it's only effective when you use them in the right way. And by using them in the right way, what I mean is they only work if you really believe them. And so what happens is, I know, day in, day out, a lot of people write their affirmations or they read them out, and, they'll say things like, I'm a powerful money magnet. I have $1 million in my bank account. I don't know about you, and this may be showing my age a bit, but I read The Secret 10 times. I watched the movie. I absolutely love the book. Like, so many of the teachings in there are incredible. A few furfies as well that I'll cover in a later video. But I was one of the people who went to the website, printed out the check that had $1 million printed on it, and I stuck that up on my wall, and I looked at it every day, and I read out a ton of affirmations, and you know what? The $1 million never landed in my lap. And so, I was sitting there trying to work out what the hell was wrong with me, because I thought I did everything that the book said to do, and the $1 million didn't come in that way. So, what happens there is that if you're saying affirmations or, looking at things that you don't really believe, then in fact, what it does is it triggers more self-limiting beliefs. So, you can't really fool your subconscious mind. And when you try to, and you say all of these affirmations, then you've got this little voice in the back of your head that's sitting there going, bullshit, bullshit. And it doesn't believe you. So you're there saying, I have $1 million in my bank account. And your little voice is like, no, you don't. Like, what are you talking about? And so you enter this constant cycle of conflict and, just confusion, because it's sort of something that you really want versus something that you don't believe. And that's a whole other topic for another day. And so really what I want to get across to you is that it's great to have affirmations. It's great to know what you're aiming for, but affirmations don't clear self-limiting beliefs. So you can say them for years on end. And if you're not doing work to actually shift and clear your self-limiting beliefs, the affirmations aren't going to help you. And To be quite frank, action, obviously action is really important to succeed in your business. You're not going to get anywhere without action, but action on its own doesn't see your self-limiting beliefs either. So I know probably some people would disagree with me there, and I'll say that, you know, with action, you can definitely get results with that, but what I'll challenge you on is that they're temporary results. So, you know, you might hit all of your income goals, but what happens at some point in time is that if you haven't changed your self-limiting beliefs and they're still there, then self-sabotage is going to kick in at some point. So even if you manage to hit your income goals, then what will happen to a lot of people is they'll either spend all that money, or they'll live way beyond their means and get into debt, or they'll experience all of this guilt around having that money, and they'll end up feeling like crap all of the time anyway. Or in some cases, some people will just start to not deliver and then let their clients down and then start to lose the income anyway. So you can get caught up in this vicious cycle, even if, you know, action gets you so far, you can end up sabotaging all of that. So look, really what it comes down to is that if you can equip yourself with a really strong and powerful money mindset, then you're laying an extremely solid foundation that is going to set you up for massive business success. Now, if you're feeling confused about the whole idea of self-limiting beliefs and not knowing if you have them, and if you do, what on earth they are and how you go about fixing them, you know, then there's a lot there that I'm going to be helping you with, because as I said, I think that hardly anyone is teaching this stuff properly, and really showing you how to shift those self-limiting beliefs. So I'm going to start walking you down that path and showing you exactly what you can do to turn that around. So we can't cover all of that today. So what I can promise you is that in my next video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can work out if you do have self-limiting beliefs. So stay tuned, and I'll be sharing that tomorrow. So I want to thank you for watching if you've stayed on to the end. I'm Caroline Labor, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye for now.